Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tunza, and this is a quick breakdown from our podcast, The Nerdlag Game Club. In this episode, we cover Bramble, the Mountain King. If you'd like to hear our full thoughts and conversations, check out that video. Link is down below.
Welcome to the Nerdlag Game Club podcast, a video game podcast where we all play the same game, and then we talk about it. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by 4 party members today. Lauren.
Hey.
Tunza.
What's up?
Danboy.
EO.
And Hipker.
Hey.
In this episode of the Game Club, we're attempting to save our sister in a gruesome world of folklore as we play through Bramble, the Mountain King. This was our short game for the month of February. Bramble, the Mountain King was released on April 27th, 2023 on PS4, PS5, PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox X and S. Bramble, the Mountain King was developed by Dim Frost Studio and published by Merge Games. Dim Frost Studio developed just one other game called A Writer and His Daughter, a VR narrative game, before they merged with Maximum Entertainment. Sadly, they have been radio silent since then about any more games, so I don't know if we'll ever get anything else. I'm going to give a quick summary of the story to the game, but before that, I want to give a spoiler warning, and I would recommend playing Bramble before listening to this episode. We play as Ole, a young boy traveling through old Nordic lands in search of his big sister, Lillemor. We switch between day and night as we hunt down a troll that captured Lillemor and is taking her to an unknown kingdom in a remote mountain. With the help of a mysterious stone of light, we traverse through the woods in search of our sister. That's the most basic version of the story, but I'm sure we'll talk more about it later in the episode. But for now, I'm going to throw it over to Tunza, where he's going to talk about the gameplay and mechanics for Bramble, the Mountain King.
Okay, this is kind of a very simple platformer where you kind of just go along a linear path, doing very minimal puzzles using, like, they call it the Spark of Courage. It's a magical light you use to illuminate the area, either to see things, fight off enemies, or, well, keep them at bay, or blind a plant. The Bramble. And use it during your boss battles to throw or blind them. Then you kind of scale up and down vines, you cross water, basically it.
Yeah, it's a...
I'm trying to go through everything you use. I'm like, you mainly just use that and jump, and then the worst run ever. He looks like he is like an 8-year-old boy, so I guess.
Yeah, it's a puzzle horror experience. Horror being light on the type of horror. It's less like jump scare, get you, but more environmentally like horror. If that makes sense?
Gross.
Yeah, gross. But yeah, solving puzzles, some minor platforming, very narrative in terms of like what's going on, but interesting for sure. All right, well, we'll move on to art design. Lauren's going to tell us about the art for Bramble the Mountain King.
So, it was made in Unreal Engine due to the visual ambitions, as it had the most potential to what they would refer to as make pretty things. It allows them to make a game without needing to type traditional lines of code like C++. The visuals blend photorealistic elements with fantasy and creepy characters, basically a cozy yet eerie aesthetic. They took inspiration from Unravel when it came to the graphics and style, and knew they wanted to do something realistic but with like a dark and grim twist. The characters are heavily inspired by Nordic folklore and stories that the developers were told as children when, they're from Sweden. The trolls were inspired by John Bayer's art, which John Bayer was a Swedish painter and illustrator. And he was born in 1882, died in 1918. But he's most known for his illustrations of early editions of like Troll, Anthology of Swedish Folklore and Fairy Tales. So very, very early visuals for that kind of stuff. They use the characters and the lighting to transition the feel of the story from a more lighter, safe feeling to a darker, scary, or like eerie feeling when night hits. Lighting wise, they rely on skylight, directional light, and others for highlights. So during the day, you can see like the light shining through the trees. You'll see the shadows of the leaves from the trees. At night, you can see the moonlight. In the beginning of the game, they're playing with the light that they have, and you can actually see like the reflection of the light in their eyes, which is one of the first things that caught my attention. Was like, this is kind of crazy to see that actual reflection of light. I think the art's just something you really gotta experience because the game like excels in it. It does really well in changing the tone of the game based on day and night cycles.
Yeah, graphically, this game looks very, very good.
It does.
Definitely. Very unique.
Yeah, it pops. Like, as soon as you start playing it and you start getting into, like, because it starts out at night, and when you first get into daytime, you really started to notice, like, how good the art is in this game. And it was back when it was announced and there was a trailer for it. That was part of the reason I wanted to play it. It's just because of how it looked. But overall, the art design's good.
Yeah, I remember back when, right around the time frame that they announced and showed off that game, and they were showing off other games that they were testing Unreal Engine, how realistic they could make it look. And it was like a big controversy at the time of if games are getting too realistic looking and how dangerous that could be for like your shooters and stuff like that. But I think this was like one of those times they did a really good job with trying to make it realistic, but making it fantasy realism.
Yeah, like the blend between real world and fictional characters.
I think the environment is like where like realism strides.
Yeah.
Like the greens are real green, like everything like being as small as you are, that close to the ground, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. They did a good job with making like we said, the fantasy characters looking like they could like blend really well with realism. So they look natural, like they belong there. They don't look out of place at all.
I wonder if something like this had like any impact on the like 2D, 3D games that come out now, where you take like a pixel character with a realistic background. It's kind of how this is, in a way. Like just being able to blend like some like realistic backgrounds with like less realistic characters and like the things you actually make for your game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to music and sound. So Dan, how about you tell us about the sound design and music for Bramble the Mountain King?
The music in this game, it's very I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely giving like folklore kind of style music, if that makes any sense at all. Like I feel like if you're being told like I guess like a movie with like a folklore kind of fairy tale in it, you're hearing this kind of music in that thing. Very good, very good. Glad to listen to that kind of stuff. There's not really any dialogue, like no talking or anything besides the narrator over things, which it's always just like, oh, Olay, they went and did this thing, or I don't remember the other character's name, that little girl that you end up running into. It's like Tufa or something.
More.
No.
No, the other girl.
You're talking about like Tula.
Tula, yeah.
The witch.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Wonder she's like the little girl looking one, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know.
a witch.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of it. At the very end of the game, I don't. Spoiler alerts for the end of the game. You're fighting the Mountain King, and there's the music playing for that. It's a very popular song, and I've never known what this song was. I've heard it a lot, but it is by Edvard Grieg. And the name of the song is In the Hall of the Mountain King, which I thought was kind of funny.
Perfect.
I feel like it was a very great choice for a song because gosh golly, I love that song. It makes everything more hectic than it really needs to be just because that song is playing. And I love it.
I love that during that, when you get into, is it the second or third phase of that fight, it speeds up and it gets like really chaotic. Like even though nothing has really changed, it's like super chaotic feeling. Yeah, it's very, very good. Lauren heard it from the other game room, like her game room, when I was playing through that part, and she's like, I know that from something, and it was like nagging at her. So we were in my car and I was like looking through to see like when we found out what it was.
Yeah, and it's in everything. Like that
it's in
thing must
everything.
be like public domain, like just free to use because it's in a lot of stuff over the years.
Super old. Composed in 1875.
Yeah,
It still holds up
it's
today.
crazy.
Yeah.
I still can't figure out that song that I told you I know it from. It's something with Mickey Mouse. I know that, but
like that song?
Yeah, it's in something, and the one that I found was the Three Musketeers, but I don't know if that's the correct one. Like the Mickey Mouse Three Musketeers, they have it in there.
yeah.
I feel like I didn't pay attention enough at that point because I don't recall the song at all.
Oh, you gotta look it up because you definitely all know it. It's in literally
like everything.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move into time to completion. We'll just go around and see how long it took us to complete the game, starting with Tanza. How long did it take you to finish this?
Exactly 4 hours.
I was 4.5 exactly. Dan?
4.3.
Ooh. Hip?
So mine's longer because I not once but twice left to go and get food and stuff when I was playing it, but mine's 6.9.
Nice.
Which I think's pretty nice.
Nice. And Lauren, what super long time did you have?
I'm pretty sure it said 7.5, and we left, went to pick up food and ate some dinner and all those things while I just left my game paused. And then when I finally came back to it, I finished the game. So gave me a couple hours extra on there.
All right, show it some love. All right. Each episode, we go around and we find out if we would recommend the game we're playing and why or why not. So starting with Lauren, would you recommend this game and why or why not?
Definitely a recommend from me. The art is great. The pacing, like I said, is spot on. You never feel like anything's like repeating itself, which is nice. There's a lot of games out there that feel like they just kind of hit you with the same like gameplay or story or something over and over. This one doesn't. And big thing that I will say that I really like that would give me a recommendation is the checkpoints are very generous. Sometimes maybe even too generous if you like games that are hard. I don't, so I think that other games that are difficult should be more generous with checkpoints, and at least in an easy mode. If you get so far into the boss battle, there should be a checkpoint there. If you get so far into a really long stretch of a level, there should be an extra checkpoint there. So those are big in my book. So a really big recommendation.
Hip?
I recommend it. I had a lot of fun actually with it. Not really anything crazy for it, you know.
Okay. Dan?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think there's some things that everyone can kind of get out of playing it, even if you've already listened to this like entire podcast and us talking about some of the things that happen, it's still nice to kind of play it and kind of experience it for yourself.
Yeah, it's a good time. Tenza?
Yeah, also recommend it. The boss battles are really like, I like them a lot. They look really good. I would say just if you jive with the warning in the very beginning, it tells you like, hey, it's graphic and stuff. If you're okay with that, then play it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I would also recommend it, but I do agree with Tanza. There's probably some things in this that might be triggering, a little fucked up at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good experience. I love the way it looks. It's easy to pick up and play. It's a short experience. I think the average playtime is 4.5 hours, but you could probably get it done way faster if you don't die a bunch of times or know what you're doing. Overall, I think it's a good experience. I enjoy that it's horror in the aspect of environment over jump scares. Like, I don't particularly love when horror relies too much on jump scares. I like that this makes you feel uneasy with its environment over just being like, oh, here's this thing that jumps out at you. Here's this thing that jumps out at you. I think some of the best horror games are designed that way. And there's nothing wrong with throwing a jump scare in here or there, but if you rely on it too much, I think that makes a horror game boring. And I would agree with the bosses. I think they're a lot of fun. Those are the parts that stick in my brain after playing the game more than anything else. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I think we got a recommend from everybody this episode, so that's good. And we can move on into reviews. So every episode, we kind of dive into review pages, usually Steam, and we find some reviews that are either good, bad, or funny. So Hip, do you have anything for us this episode?
Oh, God. There's a lot of very well-written, long-winded reviews for the game. A lot of people love it, in all honesty, from like everything I've seen. Some of the review, like, there's not really, I don't know. A lot of people,
No one complaining about the price.
no. It's a lot of people just saying how like well it does like the folklore and like horror-esque genre. It reminds them a lot of like Limbo and Little Nightmares, stuff like that. This person said everything in this game saw me as a snack. I'm flattered. Yeah, therapy's not fixing these kids.
I like this review. This is like the game inside, but it's outside instead.
I did not see that one, but that's good.
I will just mention slightly, it is nice that they do this version of folklore, and I know Lauren mentioned this. I don't know if she mentioned it when she was talking about art, but they went against Viking folklore and did more of like other ones.
Yeah, it's like Scandinavian.
It's a lot of it's a lot of like Norwegian folklore, stuff like that.
Yeah, which they could have easily done like a Viking like theme, but
Well,
I prefer...
the one thing I've seen them talk about in an interview is the stories for like Nordic folklore actually vary a little bit based on what parts of like Sweden and stuff you're in, which was interesting. So what they did is they took all the different ones, took the key elements of it, and made their own like spin to it. So that way everyone that knew the stories as a kid, even if yours was slightly different, you would recognize it and also give enough of a story for people that didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, I'm happy I didn't.
Yeah, could you imagine telling your kids the stories?
Well, it would keep the kids out of the forest and out of the lake.
Yeah,
you know, I guess that's fair.
Away. Let's go outside. No, I'm not going anywhere.
It's scary out there.
But this one review I kind of agree with heavily. It's a positive review, but it's they said it's a slow start, but it's very worth it in the end. Which I do agree. I feel like it's really slow up until you get to the point where like everything starts getting a lot more dark.
Yeah, I think that it is slower, but I like that it like lulls you into that like, oh, this isn't gonna be so bad kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I think even if you knew it was gonna get scary, you would be like, oh, when's it get scary?
Yeah, and then it kind of just hits you. It like shows you a little bit, and then it takes you back out of it, and then it shows you a little bit, and then it just stays fucked up for a while.
Yeah.
Like that part where like you walk by all those like witches that they had killed and like pinned to crosses and stuff, and your character just vomits like after you walk through that section.
Well, I thought he like developed the plague. I thought that's what was gonna like murk him or something, because he's like coughing a lot, and like at one point before he put on that little uniform for me, he was like covered in like blood and gross, and it looked like he had like mold or something on him. And then he just was like, "No, I'm good." Like he put on the uniform clean. He like showered.
Yeah, he's like, "I wiped it all off, comb my hair." All right, well, I think that about does it. It's overall positive reviews. We all had a positive outtake to it.
Experience.
And yeah, I think that closes out Bramble. Bramble, let us know if you've played this game, what you thought of this game, or if you plan on playing this game. We'll be back soon with our main episode for February. And let's have Lauren sing us out the Excalibur song.
Excalibur, Excalibur. I'm about to put it in our chat. Hold on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.